Good evening. Good evening. I'm going to call the March 13, 2023 Oak Park Board of Education meeting to order. Ms. Greer, would you please call the roll?
Clark. Here. Corcoran. Davis. Here. Alvin.
Here.
Hoda.
Here.
Madison. Here. And Smith.
Here. Okay, it appears we do have a quorum. Going to the next item on the agenda, we have swearing in and seating of board member Zandra Clark. Yay! All right. Couldn't get rid of her. Not for long anyway. She's back, so congratulations on being reappointed to the school board, and we get to administer the oath of office again. So if you wouldn't mind, please stand and raise your right hand, and please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of member of the Board of Education
of member of the Board of Education
of Oak Park Schools
of Oak Park Schools
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. They all here for you. They all here for you. That's right. Congratulations. We'll go. We'll go to the recitation of the district mission and vision. Trustee Madison, would you mind?
Yes, the mission is our inclusive learning community provides the best academic and social experiences by educating the whole child, one child at a time. And the vision is cultivating visionary leaders and compassionate citizens to be engaged in the global community.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. We'll go to item 4, which is approval of the agenda. The agenda was provided to all of us prior to today, and without objection, we'll pass a motion to approve the agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing and seeing none, the agenda is hereby approved. We'll go to approval of consent agenda, which includes the minutes, personnel actions, and financial statements February 2023. So those are the 3 items on the consent agenda this evening. If there's no objection to doing so, we will pass a motion to approve the consent agenda by unanimous consent. Well, there are financials. Can we do that? I just want to make sure. I assume we can. Yeah, by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, seeing none, the consent agenda is hereby approved. Trustee Hoyle.
I just want to note on one of the items on the personnel actions was the hiring of a new math teacher, so congratulations. I know that's something we've been working hard to get. It's great to know our students are going to have a full-time math teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. We will go to the next item, which is presentations. Maybe we should make this wait to the end of the meeting. See how presentations, and we have students of the month. I'm just going to go ahead and kick this off and just say thank you for being at the Board of Education Administration building located at 13900 Branson. So thank you for that. Mr. Abdullah, the floor is yours.
First, welcome, and we are going to ask that after each child's presented that they come up here with the administrator or the teacher or both, take a quick picture, and then we'll go back, and then afterward we are done with the students of the month. We'll take a brief recess, allowing families to step out, or if they want to stay and enjoy the rest of the board meeting, they can do that as well. So without further ado, Miss North over at Lessinger Early Childhood Center.
Hello, everyone. Okay. All right, come on up, Miss Reed. So, I am Brandy North, the principal at Lessinger Early Childhood Center, and I'm very excited to present our 2 students of the month. I have with me Ms.
Morgan Reed, who is a teacher of both of these lovely students. So she's going to do one, and I'm going to do the other.
Our first student of the month goes to Cheyenne Stanley. She was presented with Student of the Month for exhibiting characteristics of loving and kindness. She's always the first to check on a student if they're looking sad or if something's looking wrong. So she's always the first to, reach out and ask, are you okay, or what can I do for you? So we awarded her with Student of the Month.
And Mom did text and ask for the address, so if she comes in later, I'll wave her down so she can say hi. Okay, our next student of the month is Jakai James, and Jakai was nominated because he had a wonderful month of January. Jakai has had some struggles, but he persevered to overcome them, and in January was completely focused. His brilliance, he's so smart. His choices, that's why I hold him so accountable, because he knows and he's aware. And I just want him to have a beautiful and bright future because I know that he can. So Jakai is working with us to make sure that he stays on track and stays focused, and we want to acknowledge that. So we love you, Jakai. Come on up.
And look over here for 1 second. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. As the principal of Pepper Elementary School, I am proud to present our two students of the month for the month of February. Our first student is Perseus Jones. Come on up, Perseus. She's a little nervous. Per the Pepper Panther PBIS Points of Pride school-wide expectations, Perseus is a model student. She is respectful. She has all ones in citizenship. Perseus has good attendance and encourages her classmates to reach their potential. She is respectful. She actively participates in class. She's always looking for ways to help others. And she had all A's and B's during the first semester. Perseus Jones is a model student and is well deserving of this accolade. Perseus.
Big smile.
Our male student of the month is my friend, Caleb Alexis. Caleb is a second grader from Miss Fortin's classroom. Per the Pepper Panther PBIS Points of Pride school-wide expectations, he is safe. Caleb follows all of the Pepper Panther school-wide expectations. He is respectful. Caleb is polite and considerate of others, and he is responsible. He is a courteous person who has been acknowledged for his academic achievement, his effort, and his citizenship. Caleb Alexis is well deserving of this award because he is a truly awesome kid.
Ready, there you go.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sarah Provenzolo West. I am the proud principal of Einstein Elementary School. With me today, I have Miss Daughter, who's going to present our first grade students of the month.
Hi, hello. My name is Miss Dowder. I teach first grade at Einstein. I would like to first introduce Mr. Michael Mitchell. He is an outstanding student. He exemplifies what it means to soar like an eagle. He comes to school each day with a positive attitude. He comes ready to learn. He is always willing to pitch in and help a friend. He is always kind and courteous to others. We are proud to have Michael, Miss Summers, in her classroom, and I am proud to have him as part of our first grade, and we can't wait to see what he accomplishes. He will go really far.
I think they have an internal competition because they're getting bigger and bigger. Look over here. One, two, three. All right.
Miss Summers couldn't be here, but she can see us, right?
Yeah.
So, Michael, where can he wave to her? Just go like this, say, hi, Miss Summers. The next student is my student who could not be here tonight, but I wanted to take a second and talk about why I chose her as Student of the Month. Her name is Brielle Jordan. Brielle is a born leader. I tell her all the time, don't forget about me when you become president. I'm your first grade teacher, and she laughs and smiles, but it's a joke that we have, but I mean it, because I believe she will be president one day. She excels in academic and is consistently the first to raise her hand, or occasionally yell out, but we're practicing raising hands. Her work ethic as a 7-year-old is amazing, and her love of detail is astonishing to watch. She's also the life of the party. She is the first one to dance with me. We dance a lot in my classroom. She is the first one to laugh at my jokes, and we say every day we shine at Einstein, and she shines bright. She is a shining star. And my hope is that her love of learning grows with her as she grows. And I know that it will. She is strong for 7. She is not afraid to speak out. She has a voice and she knows how to use it, and she is not afraid to call me out when I mess up a math problem or don't stay on task or forget a reading month detail. She's the first one to tell me, but she has a strong voice, and my goal as an educator is to help my students find their voices that can take them along their path. She has, she keeps me in line, we'll just say that. And she will absolutely accomplish great things. So I really wanted to, thank you.
I can bring it closer.
Yeah, with your faces.
You don't need me. Okay. Just don't get mad.
Good evening to the Board of Education, to our illustrious cabinet, to one of my parents. All right, Trustee Madison. I am Shayna Murphy, the very proud principal of Key Elementary at 23400 Jerome Street. You already know where we at. And at Key Elementary, we are the Falcons, and we do everything with Key pride. That means we exemplify positivity, respect, integrity, diversity, and excellence. And so we have 3 Key Falcons today. It said 2, but we needed 3 this month because we missed last month. And we would like to bestow the honor of being the Student of the Month at Key Elementary. So first up, we will have Miss Kim Bedford, our wonderful kindergarten teacher, who also Miss Madison's daughter is in her class. So first up, Miss Kim Bedford.
Hi, I have Lennox Gatewood here, and as Ms. Murphy said, we have our principals. We have Positivity, which every day, all day, he is always ready. Like, let's do this, we got it. We have a chant, anyway, ask the kids about it. Lennox knows it. He's respectful to everybody, adults, other kids, good heart. Integrity. Even for fear of being in trouble, he will still tell you the truth. He has no fear of that, and that I can't even describe. Warms my heart. D, diversity. Lennox will play and love anybody. He doesn't care. It's no judgment. It's amazing. And then excellence, those 4 things plus just, he is excellent. He takes pride in his work. Everything he does is to a standard that you don't see in a whole lot of 5-year-olds. So he deserves this more than anybody would know. So that is my Lennox.
All right.
All right, next up we have our 2nd grade Student of the Month. Miss Kylie James is going to be recognized by our social worker, Mrs. Hepke. When I put out the call for nominating a Student of the Month, she came right to me and said, Miss Murphy, we need to honor Miss Kylie James. And so we have Mrs. Hepke here, our social worker, as well as her homeroom teacher. I think I saw Miss Sumler. Oh, right. Look, she's so medium, I couldn't even see the child. So Mrs. Sumler, she also had a student that was recognized as Student of the Month, but we just appreciate her homeroom teacher also coming out today. So we're going to recognize Kylie James.
All right, so I'm here to nominate Kylie James. She is a wonderful student and a wonderful addition to our Key Falcon student body. When I see her inside Miss Sumler's class, she's always on task, she's always doing her work, working hard, she's always trying her best. And every time someone needs help, she is the first person to reach over and give help regardless of whether she's being recognized or not. Half the time I see her and she's like helping somebody else, which I was gonna do. But then I'm like, okay, so this student is a fantastic example of leading by example at our Key Elementary. So I give you Kylie James.
I was going to reiterate a lot of the things that Ms. Hepke already said, but Kylie came to me actually in the middle of the year, and we actually had established routines and everything before she got there, and she was able to transition very smoothly into the classroom. She has been making some academic strides that she should really, really be proud of. And just as Ms. Hepke said, she is so helpful to me and everybody in the classroom, and she's kind of like my go-to person if I have to take things to another classroom or to the office. So we just really appreciate having Kylie as my addition to my classroom.
She's so cute. It's like a mini Murphy right here. Miss Taylor, her mama did good. And we have one final Key Falcon. Is Amir Williams here tonight? I didn't see him in the hallway. Okay, I will take this time to honor Mr. Amir Williams. He is a 5th grader at Key Elementary, and this is what his teacher, Ms. Brown, had to say about him. Says, Amir Williams has been nominated for Student of the Month because of his strong work ethic and kind and respectful demeanor. Amir comes to class every day, prepared and ready to learn. His love for learning and drive to be the best causes him to engage in and contribute to class discussions and activities, and to complete his assignments with excellence, which is the last core value of Key Elementary. Besides his academic performance, Amir is kind, respectful, and helpful towards everyone. I can depend on him to make good choices and to be a leader amongst his peers. He is truly a star student that shines brightly in my class, and he is definitely an exemplification of cultivating visionary leaders and compassionate citizens. So I give you Amir Williams, his certificate, and hopefully he's able to see this online tonight. Thank you for your time.
I don't need the mic. Good evening. Good evening. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Janaka Sanders. I'm the assistant principal at Oak Park Preparatory Academy. On behalf of the Oak Park Preparatory Academy administration team, I'm here to present 2 Student of the Month. Our first Student of the Month, her name is Cameron Tucker. Cameron has been selected as February Student of the Month. The month of February character trait is honesty. Cameron is an example of honesty because she has chosen to be completely truthful with herself. Cameron realized that she was not always making the choices that will lead her to the most options for her future. She decided to start making positive changes. We have seen the improvement. Cameron now has her hand up to be a positive participant. She regularly attends tutoring to maximize her growth. We are proud of Cameron's honesty, self-reflection, and the work she's doing to be an even better version of herself. We look forward to the rest of the year with Cameron. Keep up the good work.
You just stand back by over there. Okay.
Okay, our next Student of the Month is Savio George. Savio has been selected as February Student of the Month. The month of February's character trait is honesty. Savio George is the personification of honesty. He admits when he is unsure or unclear. Savio's willingness to ask questions helps others as much as himself. Honesty is not the only positive trait Savio possesses. He's a hardworking, conscientious learner, and we are glad he's on our team. Keep up the good work.
But Cheyenne Stanley is here, so I just want to make sure she gets her picture and her award. So Cheyenne, we just talked about how loving and kind and helpful and wonderful you are, and we're so proud to have you as a Lessinger Rebel, and we love you, okay? All right, let's take our picture back. Here's Cheyenne.
Wait.
Get your picture.
Good job.
Good job, man.
She's crazy, man. She's hilarious. She's so
Great. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sherry Buchsager. I am the principal, the proud principal of Oak Park High School, which was established in 1954. So we have two students of the month. I'm not sure if Davina or Davier is here. All right. I'm going to read it anyways. All right, Davina has committed herself to successful and attending class as much as she can. She is making major improvements to her attendance patterns. In addition, she is very inquisitive, asks clarifying questions about content, and does assignments regularly. She is a strong worker and does a good job in all of the work she does. She's very respectful, and we love having her in class. And then for Davier, he does not give up, and he sticks to something once he's decided upon it. He also tends to be polite and open with his communication. Davier is appreciated because he does not get caught up with all the drama around the school. He stays to himself. What drama? He stays to himself and his select group of friends. He is manageable and ready to learn something new in class. He's always pleasant and happy, and he continues to make good choices to conduct himself and model positive behavior.
How y'all doing? Address is 22180. School code is 0734. Home of the Black Knights, the most resilient group in Oak Park. Welcome to Nova Academy. That's right. Well, I'm going to bring up one of the most dynamic teachers in Oak Park. Her name is Kirsten Sheik. And she does a wonderful job with our students online. And I think it wouldn't be fair if we didn't bring them, because they are the resilient ones. And we have a little prize for them too. Thank you, Ms. Murphy. I took, a little something out your book. Yes, so we're going to bring up this young lady, and she's going to bring up Miss Pratt and Mom. Oh, Mom, you put that right here. Take it.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Sheik. I had Erica since the beginning of the school year, but when I first glanced at Erica's transcripts, in Nova we do something different where students come to us for credit recovery. And when I had first looked at her transcript, I'm like, oh no, this girl's not going to be graduating this year. I had some doubts on her graduating. But she put those doubts to the side. 2 weeks after the school had started, she was online. She was the first person online every day. At 7:57, she was online. We start at 7:55, but 7:57, she's online. And I was shocked with her resilience and her positivity. She would stay online from 8 o'clock until 2 o'clock every single day. I mean, through lunch, my lunch, she's still online. And she had caught up with almost all of her credits before Christmas time. So fast forward to today, she is ready to walk the stage on June 12th. What's so remarkable about this young lady, she always thanks me for pushing her along the way, but I always have to remind her that I didn't push her along the way, I just walked beside her and helped her along the way. She dug deep inside herself and found the energy she needed to get back on track. There were so many nights on Saturday night, she would text me at 10, 11 o'clock, hey, something's locked, can you unlock it? I'd get on there. 24/7, this girl, 7 days a week, has been working to get all her classes. So I can't wait to watch you walk the stage on June 12th. Congratulations.
Good job.
Good job.
Next, we're gonna have Mr. Jalen Evans. Come on up.
Tonight's the first night I've met this boy, and I've had him for 2 years. So it's been, his family, it's been a pleasure to meet them all. So this is the second year I've had Jalen as a student, and it is my distinct honor to nominate him for Student of the Month. Jalen has always gone above and beyond the normal expectations of being an online student. He makes sure that his work is completed on time and with fidelity. Not only is Jalen a stellar scholar, but his mother is a force to be reckoned with. Her support has made my job so much easier. He'll text me something's not working, and then Mom, 2 minutes later, will be texting me it's not working. I'm like, okay, I'm on it, Mom, I'm on it. But the family, the father, they're awesome. They're so supportive. And he came back this year to be with me after the first year, and thank you for that honor. So, Jalen, congratulations.
Don't worry, I'm bringing them all up. I told you how we get down, all right?
And they asked how many people they could bring. Oh, he could bring as many as he wanted.
Want to leave your mask on or leave it off? It's up to you. Right. Good job. Good job. Good job. So I'm going to make a statement. I believe that's it, correct?
Yes,
This is a totally unbiased statement. Oak Park produces some of the best students in the whole wide world. In fact, we got 2 sitting superintendents in Oakland County that are high school alumni, well, Oak Park School alumni. The superintendent of Birmingham and myself. She graduated class of 93. I graduated class of 94. We have and one other that we kind of claim, but he only went to elementary. But that's pretty good. No other district can say that in Oakland County. So.
Okay, as my usual disclaimer every month, this has been wonderful, and this is a public meeting, so you are all more than welcome to stay as long as you like and sit here through the rest of it. Or we'll take a short recess and allow you to exit if you choose to do that. So we'll take a recess for 5 minutes, and we'll restart 7:30.
Thank you for their time. We don't want to take all
Okay, thank you. We are moving on with our agenda. We are at item 7, reports. Superintendent Abdullah had anything to report?
Yes, sir. So, got a few items. First of all, I want to congratulate the boys varsity basketball team. They did lose in district championships against U of D Jesuits, but they had a great turnout. I'm not going to say we felt cheated a little bit, but at one point it was like 2 fouls to 10. But the kids had an amazing season. Trustee Smith was there cheering the group on. Cabinet was there, so it was awesome to be there and cheering out the team. So congratulations to the boys varsity basketball team. Also, just want to announce, we've been putting it on the district website, so a couple things. Under community and parent involvement, there is a senior headquarters tab now for up-to-date information for parents if they want to get caught up on senior activities, okay? So we are doing the Facebook, the class thing, but we figured another tab would help. So that's there under community and parent. Also, parent-teacher conferences are this week on March 14th, 15th, and 16th. That's also cycling through our district page, and those times are Oak Park High School Tuesday 4 to 8, elementary schools Wednesday March 15th 4 to 8, and Opa Nova Thursday March 16th 4 to 8. We also do not have school for students. We have a district-wide PD, which trains all our staff on social emotional learning, strategies, programming, SEVIS, which is a curriculum-based training, and special education training and fortifying, just to make sure that we are compliant with all those things. We did talk about no school for students on March 17th. On March 22nd, senior pinning will be at Oak Park High School from 5 to 7 in the auditorium. We do have chairs reserved if board members want to attend. Just show up, you'll sit on stage.
When did you say? I'm sorry.
March 22nd.
Okay. What time?
5 to 7.
5 to 7, senior pinning at Oak Park Auditorium. March 27th to the 31st is spring break. No students or staff at the schools. Central office will operate unless they're utilizing some vacation time. And I believe that is my entire superintendent's report.
Thank you. And the senior pinning is at the high school?
Yep. March 22nd, 5 to 7. We do have light hors d'oeuvres. There too.
Thank you. We'll go to item 8, public participation. We come to that part of the meeting where the public has an opportunity to address the board if it so desires. Public participation is one-way communication in which members of the public are asked to address the full board with the understanding that board members will not be able to respond. Trustee Davis, would you please provide the public comment guidelines?
Sorry, wrong side. Because the Oak Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public, we welcome public comment on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of a meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against a school board member or school district employee that disrupts the order of the meeting and is totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, such comments may result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that comments remain focused on the topic or issue and not be directed at a specific personnel or board members.
Thank you. Are there any members of the public who wish to address the board?
We have one request by Ramel Miles.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you and good evening to everyone on the board, Dr. Abdulahad and your staff. I come to you, as always, a proud parent of the Oak Park Marching Legion. Our kids were invited to do the St. Patrick Parade in Corktown on this past Sunday, and they marched from 6th and Bagley all the way down past Rosa Park. When I say they did a phenomenal job, they were a crowd favorite, and even at the end of the parade, there was like a little kind of a competition, so they got to play right in front of the judges' stand. And one of our songs that they chose to do was a popular Irish song, which was probably different from all the other bands that were in there. So I tell people, we not only play the pop tunes, the rock tunes, the rap tunes, but we can, when in Rome, we can do exactly what the Romans do. However, when we were turning the corner to go off the parade route, one of the parade organizers they said that they were so impressed with us, and they're going to try really, really hard to re-invite us back. Because throughout the parade, we were probably the first band of the fourth section of the band. So we were probably behind quite a few bands. Chandler Park Academy was this one school, Southfield, River Rouge, Wyandotte, but they said that we were one of the most exceptional bands that was out there. So I did want to come back and tell you, I wish that Mr. Akers would have been here to hear me, but I had told him already on yesterday that our band is coming back to our glory. It kind of heartens me because right now this is kind of like the 3-year anniversary of when coronavirus started and we were shut down with all the invitations of overseas to Hawaii, to Spain. And so it was very nice to hear that even with everything that the marching band has been through, they are still one of the most phenomenal bands in the city. And I thought that you should know that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will move on now to our action items. We have 4. And so the first action item, 9A, approval to purchase 14 Promethean boards. Trustee Smith, would you like to?
Yes. Resolved that the Oak Park School District Board of Education purchase 14 75-inch Promethean boards, combining them with 6 units on hand, for the installation of 20 Promethean boards in the classrooms at Nova, which will accommodate the CASA program for the 2023-2024 school year and beyond. The cost of this project is to be $50,880, which will be purchased with remaining ESSER funds.
Thank you. Motion made by Trustee Smith. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Corcoran. Are there any questions on the motion? We talked this through a couple weeks ago. Seeing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Smith?
Yes.
Madison?
Yes.
Hoda?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Elvin?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
And Corcoran.
Yes.
Okay, we go to item 9B, approval of school of choice open enrollment for the 2023-24 school year. And Trustee Davis, would you mind reading the?
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education approve the recommended schools of choice options for the 2023 to 2024 school year as attached.
Thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Trustee Clark. Any questions on the motion? Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Davis?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Madison?
Yes.
Elvin?
Yes.
And Hoda.
Yes.
Okay, item 9C, approval approval of contract through Intech Medical. Trustee Corcoran, you got it? Okay.
Resolved that the board approve the entry into a contract with Intech Medical for one part-time psychologist, 2 to 3 days per week at Key Elementary School through June of 2024.
Thank you. Motion made by trustee Corcoran. Is there a second?
Second.
I got you. Seconded by Madison. Are there any questions on the motion?
I just want to clarify, because reading the contract, I just want to make sure it's one part-time person. It won't rotate or anything like that.
No, it's
Okay.
one. And if we could hire more, we would. But
Okay.
we're entering in this contract because we can't secure people because they're in high demand.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, we just hire them directly.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I just want to clarify, Trustee Davis, was your question whether it's going to be the same person?
Exactly.
Like, are we hiring one position, or are we hiring, or is it going to be one person?
Well, but if they have a change, and then they would send us somebody, but they're guaranteeing us this many days, this many hours. So everyone has to go through the same background. So whoever they send us, if ideally would be the same person, but, and it typically is, but we might have a substitute here.
And the role of a school psychologist is to do testing, not to do ongoing counseling.
That's right.
So it wouldn't necessarily be dependent on those relationships.
Yeah, it's for the IEP evaluation, reassessment.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else? Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Elvin?
Yes.
Hoda?
Yes.
Madison?
Yes.
And Smith?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 9D, approval of trustee Menachem Hoyer's attendance at the K-12 Alliance Special Education Symposium in Washington, D.C. Say that 3 times fast. Trustee Clark, do you want to read it?
Sure. Resolved that the board approve trustee Menachem Hoda's attendance, travel, and food expenses, K through 12 Alliance Special Education Symposium in Washington, D.C. on March 22nd, 2023.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by trustee Clark. We'll go with trustee Davis on the second. Y'all are buzzing in for Jeopardy. So. Is there any questions on this? Trustee Corcoran.
The first question that I had is, why are we attending why are we attending what is it? Is it the symposium vote? But why are we going, like the board? That's the question.
Trustee Hoda.
So the K-12 Alliance is an organization here in Michigan that represents school districts in Macomb, Wayne, Oakland, and I think there are maybe 1 or 2 other ISDs that have joined since then. And they sent out the request a couple of weeks ago asking for board members and administration to attend this symposium. The first year they did it was last year, and I attended together with Dr. Hitchcock at that time. It was really a wonderful opportunity to meet with decision makers in Washington about special ed. We know that special education, when the Individuals with Disability in Education Act was passed in the 1970s, Congress promised a certain level of funding for it. That has never come to fruition. And as a result, we are required to carry the expense of special education without having the necessary funding. And so that means that money comes out of general fund. And so it's something that all of our students are really paying for to make up that difference that Congress has not allocated. So last year was the first year that we went, spoke with members of Congress, people from the Department of Education, and really shared the impact on our district and why this issue is so important. Doing it again, I think, is important. And last year, when we happened to be there was a day where Congress was making some very important decisions about ESSER dollars. That wasn't in the plans, but that's the way it ended up working out, and our presence there allowed us to make sure that our Michigan delegation understood how taking that money away would impact us, and that was a very dramatic day, and it made a very big difference. I think that so when K-12 Alliance sent out this request, I looked it up. Since I was able to go, I emailed the president and the superintendent and said, I think this would be worthwhile. It's one day. It's a very busy, long day, but I think it's a very critical issue for our district, and to add to the voice to make sure that those decision makers in Washington understand how this issue impacts us is important.
Thank you. So, yeah, kind of lobby on our own behalf. Closed mouths don't get fed. Yes.
I just have one more question. So you said they sent it out 2 weeks ago. I thought that when we're asking, for travel, that we are to do it a meeting before to have it approved or brought to like when I brought it to the board about the Florida trip.
You mean like as an information item first, and then as
Correct.
there's nothing in our bylaws that requires that?
Okay, but on the Michigan Advisory Board, Michigan Advisory, it does state that to have, the meeting or the request prior to the vote, that day that you vote, to have it, to give the information prior to, so you can vote on the next meeting.
It states that it is a requirement pursuant to state law.
There's not a requirement, but it is a
Good practice?
Correct.
Okay.
So just to
And
clarify.
it's section 621A. And I just know that in the past, when I have even asked, I was told that I would have to have it brought to the board prior to the voting, to have it voted on. You gotta bring it first with the information, then you vote on it at the next meeting.
Trustee Hood, do you have something you want to say?
And I agree in principle with Trustee Corcoran that it's always best to bring these things to the board as early as possible, especially since it's going to be more expensive to purchase the tickets this late in the game. The email came out March 1st, and so this is the first meeting we've had since that request came out, and the event is next week. So wanted to make sure that we brought it as soon as possible, and I can share that one of the items of feedback that I will have for the K-12 Alliance is that we need more notice and more organization going forward so that we can plan for it, so that we can understand. I asked them for some talking points that I could share with the board today. They didn't have that available. I do wish there was more of that available at an earlier date so that we could discuss that.
So, hearing what you're saying, I certainly understand. One of the things that makes this tough, well, for one thing, this is the earliest meeting he could have brought it, but that's just in this particular case. But I don't know how many people have tried to book a flight in recent history or a hotel, but the longer you wait and the closer you get to the event, the higher the cost. And for me, most of these have been no-brainers. We've got the budget. I don't see any reason why we would say, hey, come back in 2 weeks if we don't have to. Now it's one thing if it's 4 months away, probably makes sense to me to do it that way, but none of these have been that. And every single time it's like hurry up and register or loot or like you can't go. This is case in point, the one that you brought to us. So and I know you gave enough notice for us to do, but still, nonetheless, there was a couple of months with that one. These don't seem to be coming fast enough for us to wait, 2 extra weeks. But in any case, go ahead. You have something else?
Sure. But in my perspective, I just see that I can somewhat see maybe why they have it as a late notice, because usually it's probably for maybe the director or an administrator going, because it's on a federal level and not you know, it's gonna be voted on, and if it passes, it's gonna come to us anyway, but I didn't know that there was a lobbying type of, attendance. So that makes sense, because I didn't know that he's actually gonna, did I hear you say he was gonna be lobbying? Because they suggest that we attend?
Not like in the official sense. My point is, you're there to advocate, and not, I don't know, maybe I should use a better choice of words. Lobbying has a whole definition tied to that. I'm not saying that he's doing that, but he's advocating on behalf of our district, and they're all advocating on behalf of the areas in which they're a part. So I was basically using lobbying in a very loose term to say you were out there advocating for us to get additional dollars to fund what should already be funded anyway. And then I said, closed mouths don't get fed, so we need somebody there, you know, talking, you know, and I think that's, and if they're doing it every year until somebody listens, that's what we gotta do.
So then Menachem actually get a chance to speak?
I'm sure there's an
what happened
opportunity for
last
him
year?
to.
Because I don't think,
So what happened last year is that we, and apparently this is going to be the same this year, we were in a meeting room at the Hyatt in Washington DC, and our members of Congress and the other decision makers came one by one. They would each give a message, and then we had organized which one of us would then ask questions and what those questions were and how to, and then there was an opportunity afterwards also to speak with them afterwards. So it's meeting with those people, providing them with information that they can then take back to their offices so that we create that momentum towards this important topic. One of the things that we see is there's a lot of important priorities, right? And as we build momentum around this issue of special education funding, it's being pushed up on the agenda. It's becoming more of a priority as those dollars are being divided. And I did take a chance to look up the section of the school aid law that you mentioned, Trustee Corcoran. I don't see anything in here about, it does say that obviously any travel has to be pre-approved, and that's what we're doing today, but I don't see anything here that has to do with how many meetings it comes in front of the board.
but our bylaws state it, that's why I brought that up, because our bylaws do state.
Our bylaws do
Relative
not
to
state.
what?
Travel, to asking, we always have to vote, just as a motion was put on the floor once before when Mr. Smith had asked for something, and then we said that we had to wait, and he had to come back with it, at the next meeting, and then he tabled it.
Yeah, that was the board pay.
But it was a board pay, but.
That will be a change to the bylaws.
So,
So a change to the bylaws does have to come in front of the board.
well, that's like the only thing, right?
I think that and spending over, like
So,
purchases
but
over a certain amount.
just to move this along, so in the future, you said that you spoke with the Alliance to have them make it a little bit sooner, the
I
date?
said that's
or
gonna be one of
awareness?
when they ask us for feedback, that's definitely gonna be one of my items of feedback. Because I am frustrated, I will say, by the lack of information. If I hadn't gone last year and didn't already know what to expect or have this expectation, a week beforehand, I wouldn't, we're talking about this happening a week from Wednesday. There should be more information available. All that came to us was an email saying we'd like as many people as possible to come out. And then when I emailed back and said, hey, can we get more, there wasn't much available. They gave me a list of who's confirmed in terms of our Congress people that have confirmed. If you want, I can share that with you. They also gave a list of the other people that they've invited. But I wish there will be more than that, and that will definitely be something that I will be sharing with them.
Thank you. All right, anything else? Okay, Ms. Griffiths, call the roll.
Elvin,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Hoda,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
and Cochran.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. We go to item 10, which is information items, and do not have any of those. So we'll go to communications. Are there any communications from members of the administration?
No joke about that.
Held in, let's see.
Continue. Oh, go ahead, trustee Smith.
Yeah, I just want to make notice that we were able to attend the Black History Assembly at Einstein with Principal Provenzolo West and Ms. Daughter and the other staff, all the other staff at the admin staff and teachers at the assembly, and we enjoyed that, and just want to say kudos to the children, to the parents, to the teachers, and everybody for an outstanding job. I really enjoyed that. I was actually going in to read, but I got a bigger surprise. So, but I found out that the rest of the month is March Reading Month, so I'll be participating in that. And then also was able to join Ms. Desiree Fuller and the team over at Oak Park High School for the 11th grade for the mock interviews. Participated in that, so kudos to the rest of the board members who did participate in that. And just want to say, just an outstanding job.
Thank you. Anything from any other members of the board? That I can tell, I do want to note that I can tell here that the only thing that I see requiring two readings at separate board meetings is an adoption or amendment of the bylaws and policies. I don't see anything else in here that I can see right now that requires that.
I have one more question. I mean, well, the question that you didn't ask is, did any, or I guess I should say point of information, is if you wanted to ask anyone else if they wanted to attend the Washington lobbyists or the Washington
If you want to attend and you want to put a motion on the floor to do so, you can do that. That wouldn't be me. If that's something.
I was just for
Okay,
other
well,
board members who
yeah, that's
didn't
not.
know
Yeah,
if they wanted to attend.
If others want to do that and they want to put a motion on the floor, that's their call. That wouldn't be up to me. Another couple of things is that at our Thursday, March 9th special school board meeting, we agreed on goals with Superintendent Abdullah had. We need to do a pulse check on where things stand relative to his goals, and a midway point puts us somewhere in around July. I have noted a couple possible dates for a meeting, perhaps, because I think we only have one scheduled in July, maybe July 17th or the 24th. I can, if both of those work for everyone, and I can go back and see if what Dr. Green has available. But would like you to check your schedules real quick and let me know what your
President
thoughts are.
Alvin, that's usually when I like to take some vacation time, so no one's asked me.
Do we need?
So I don't know, you're doing a pulse check, but no one's asked me anything about.
I'm asking.
No, July is the time that I take time with my family.
Okay, so when
So July will not
when
work
would
for
you
me.
like to do a pulse check?
I didn't know it required a whole meeting. I thought I was just gonna give you an update.
It's a pulse check on your goals, and it will require a meeting. So
Okay.
It's not like a written update. We talk these things through to see where we are. I mean, and quite frankly, I think that probably follows what you.
So I would say
July.
August for me would be ideally, because that's when I'm getting ready to start school again. And that'll tell me where I am before school starts.
Okay, Mr. Arnold, take time off.
Well, no, I mean, I did not know you were gonna bring this up, so I wish you would've told me beforehand.
I did. I told you at the end of the last meeting. I said it.
No, you didn't say that.
Yeah, I did.
July won't work for me.
Do we need Dr. Green for that?
Maybe we don't need them, but I would think that, I mean, I did talk that through with him while he was here, and he didn't say like, that's not something I usually attend.
Okay.
So, August, we don't have anything in the books yet because we don't go past, I think we don't go past July, so, or June.
But typically, we meet the
Second.
fourth,
We don't meet the second
the
week.
fourth Monday in August. Typically, we meet the second Monday in July, and then the fourth Monday in August, and then we don't schedule anything between there.
As a break, got it. So, are there any thoughts on what you all would like to do there?
So we're planning to start school, Mr. Abdul had the 28th, is that?
Yeah, that's what I'll be recommending with staff, returning on the 23rd, 24th, something like that.
Do we want to meet before that?
Sure. It seems like it's quite a foreign concept, so I'm
Well, so I thought, so maybe I was wrong, I thought a pulse check is giving you a status update of where I am. I didn't think it required a whole board meeting and attending of, here's the goals that we talked about, here's where I am, here's what's completed. I didn't know that pulse check required an entire formal meeting and call order, but I'm game on however you want to do it. To me, it's simple to tell you what I'm
If
at.
the board wants to accept that, we can do that and call it a day. I'm good with it. It's your call.
Yeah, so we need a motion for that?
No motion needed. If you feel like that's enough, if you write something and sends it, and that gives you what you need, call it a day.
That's fine.
I'm all right.
You good with it? Trustee Corcoran?
Much so, because the sun will be shining at those times, yes.
Okay. Trustee Hoyter?
Absolutely.
Okay. Ladies?
Good.
Okay, then do it that way. No need to meet. You do understand that doesn't give you an opportunity for back and forth. So.
Right, and sometimes superintendents would like to get that back and forth so that it doesn't come as a surprise in
To me,
December.
there's no gray area.
Okay.
This is where we are. This is where I'm at with this. What's the gray area? And there's nothing stopping someone from calling me and say, can you clarify this? There's nothing stopping from that.
It doesn't. I think I don't have a preference one way or the other. This is your this is like your review. This is your career. So.
But my review is on December. It's not July, then December, then June, then March. I have a review once a year in December, so there's a difference from a pulse check where we are and giving you a status update along the way.
You're right, you have a review in December. You're absolutely right about that. But I will say that not getting an opportunity for back and forth leaves it open in December. If you hear something you don't want to hear, don't be upset.
No problem.
Okay?
I'm sure I'll hear it before then.
You might not. I'm telling you that you might not. You would have, but you might not.
Okay.
So if you hear something you don't want to hear, don't be upset because you had that opportunity. Okay. All right.
In my experience, superintendent will be upset even if you got the.
Okay. All right. Well. All right.
Not this superintendent.
And I just want to be clear. This is. I just want to ask a question.
I was not prepared for this. It was not on the. I was not prepared that this was going to be brought up. So I'm talking.
I don't mean to
now.
surprise you. But I did mention it at the end of the last meeting.
No, you didn't add it to the agenda for topic of
No, I
discussion.
did not. I didn't add it,
So
but I did mention
therefore,
it.
it's not on there, so I wasn't prepared for it.
I don't want to surprise you. No worries. Don't worry about it. But I do want to know since I brought this up. So I want to make sure this is in kind of in line. What I was thinking is in kind of in line with how we manage things normally. So the teachers only get feedback from them what they do at the end of the year. There's nothing in the middle.
There is.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But
Okay.
it's a mid-marking, it's a mid. They get feedback with an evaluation rating once a year. But we have steady check-ins, just like weekly updates. But that's not an official meeting where I have a public meeting.
yours is this is the only way we could do it.
Okay.
So, I mean, what other way is there?
Let me think about some dates, and then I'll.
No,
give you options.
no.
However you want it.
You and the board have agreed, you will provide us in writing, and we
also
will
have agreed
we will
no
take whatever.
surprises.
We would take whatever you give. I didn't think this was controversial. I really didn't. I said it at the end of the last meeting. I talked to Dr. Green about it at the end of the last meeting. You were standing right here. So I thought, and I think I mentioned it to some of the board. I literally thought I said it at the end of the meeting out loud. So I didn't think this would be a surprise, nor did I think it would be controversial. I didn't mean to catch you by surprise. No worries. I am good. It's quite all right. No worries. Okay. The next thing that's not on the agenda, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that we agreed to have committees. I do not have those developed yet, so I plan to bring those at the next meeting. I've already got in place one person who has indicated they will serve in a specific role, and I will, what am I missing?
Come on, Bubbles.
He was bringing out the ball.
Icebreaker. So we
Y'all ready to go home, so let me hurry up and move this along. So I will come back with the committee appointments at the next meeting. And there are two committees we agreed to. One is the policy committee, which we've had in the past, and the next one is the board development committee. So those are two committees we agreed to, and I'll work on staffing those, and then those committees can start to meet. Any questions on that? Okay. Hearing none, then Trustee Davis, our next meeting.
The next meeting of the Board of Education will be held on Monday, March 27, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the boardroom and the administration building.
Okay. Well, if nothing else, without objection, we will adjourn at 8:16. Is there an objection to doing so? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.